helping out.
The outcome we're hoping for is more engagement.
A community in DC comes together through free meals and salsa lessons, saving the day.
But it had gotten its beak and the fishing lines.
Nature lovers help in a tangled situation. And the Tiger King protagonist having something to say.
That's my goal. Tiger King is over.
While living behind bars, these stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Natalie LaRoche-Pietri.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Today is Friday, April 5th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Gator alert, up-close look at one of Florida's predators wrangled away. This morning, state wildlife officials are keeping a close watch on Florida parks after two massive gators were spotted and removed from the parks in Fort Myers.
As WBBH's Christy Soto reports, the alligators posed a serious threat to visitors.
Take a look at this monster of a gator. It took 3 men to wrangle it out of the water.
11-11. I'm sorry, 9-11.
9-11. Okay, it's like there's no way he's a 12-foot gator.
But still, a nearly 10-foot predator found lurking in the water at Lakes Park.
He's in the lake with the boats that the kids go on, and he's bigger than the boat.
And that's a big problem. Families hit the water running paddle boats and kayaks at the park. And now, during gator mating season, where predators tend to be more active, you have to be extra careful. So this morning, an FWC trapper removed 2 gators from the lake in hopes to prevent an attack. You can tell by the hiss, he was not a happy camper, even lunging at one of the trappers.
He likes you.
Dozens of people, including little kids, watched as these gators were wrangled up to the parking lot.
He was kind of scary because I've never seen him up close before.
And there's a first time for everything.
We see them from a distance, but we always say don't get close, don't get near them at all.
Serving as a good reminder to be careful with small kids and pets near the water.
They were definitely scary.
Now these gators will be relocated and will have to establish a new home.
That was WBBH's Christy Soto reporting. State officials say the gators will live on a farm in the Florida Keys.
Joseph Maldonado, star of Tiger King documentary on Netflix, spoke up from behind bars, stating that he's never seen the show. Nicknamed Joe Exotic, he has been behind bars since 2020, the year the show first aired. Maldonado was incarcerated for the attempted murder of Carl Baskin, another animal enthusiast, but he claims that he was framed.
Could I walk away from here tomorrow and forget every one of them people? That's my goal. Tiger King is over.
Maldonado says that he's behind bars for not having the necessary permits for his endangered species. Whatever the real reason is, what's for certain is that the reign of the Tiger King is over.
A large heron on Florida's coast is safe and secure, and it's all thanks to some nature enthusiasts. As WESH's Scott Heedler reports, people noticed the stuffed bird while gazing at wildlife.
Gonna try to help them out here.
A couple and their friend out on the water for a day of fun near Merritt Island stumbled across a blue heron in distress, tangled in fishing line, caught upside down, hanging from a tree.
We were just out there to bird watch, to see some manatees, and actually when Javed called our attention to the bird in the tree, we were actually looking at a manatee a little ways away.
Howie Brown was with Nicole and Javed Palmer.
And somehow it had fishing line like nylon wrapped around its foot as well as its beak, but it had gotten its beak and the fishing line somehow entangled with a tree branch.
The 3 were traveling on flat inflatable boats, and that helped in the rescue.
Now the Go Boat is a flat platform, right? There's no sides to it, which is great. It doesn't take on water.
They were able to get the bird down from the tree, but had to track it down to make certain that the bird's feet were free.
It was wonderful to be a part of such a cool thing.
The 3 delighted that they were able to save the blue heron, but it could have turned out differently. They have a message to fellow lovers of the outdoors.
Clean up after yourself, right? It's not very hard to bring a bag with you to take your fishing line.
That was WESH's Scott Hiedler reporting. Birds aren't the only animals that can be harmed by improperly discarded fishing gear. It's dangerous for almost all wildlife, including marine animals like turtles and crabs.
Latinos love to celebrate the diverse heritage that defines their neighborhoods, whether they're in Florida or in another part of the U.S.
Our reporter Pamela Correa is live from Washington, D.C. to tell us about an initiative that connects Latinos and honors their cultures.
I'm in Columbia Heights Civic Plaza, where just a few miles north of the White House, where in less than a week, this plaza will come to life because they're going to be celebrating culture. Members of this community will be able to enjoy free hot meals, great outside live music, and if they're not too shy, they can also learn how to dance salsa. Jueves es el nuevo viernes, or Juernes is an event that the organization District Bridges started a couple of years ago in Columbia Heights, which is one of the main Latino communities in Washington, D.C., where people interact, have fun together, and celebrate the diversity of culture that exists in the neighborhood. District Bridges is a nonprofit organization that specializes in impactful community development and microeconomic growth. One of the managers in the organization told us what else to expect other than great live music, free food, and salsa classes.
The outcome we're hoping for is more engagement, as always, with the local businesses, with the community, for people to know more about community organizations that are working here, make our community more connected and stronger.
And if you're wondering if you could come to this event, even if you're not Latino, District Bridges Development Manager said everyone is invited to the party.
I think it's such a cool place for people to come together from different backgrounds and different experiences, and I think that's what makes Juernes so special, because it's not for one group. There's no barriers to accessibility. There's free meals, and there's something about sitting down with someone and just eating a meal that I think is so powerful.
The food will be catered by Los Hermanos, a Dominican family-owned restaurant that has been around since 1995 and has remained one of the most popular in the area. One of the owners of the restaurant explained how his mother's recipes and the community's craving for the distinctive homemade Latin food flavor inspired the creation of the business.
So she would cook for us on a 2-burner stove. Customers would come in, smell the food, smell the oregano, and they'll ask, hey, what smells? So what does that smell? And she would let them try the food. And that's how the restaurant kind of took off. So for a while, we did the bodega concept in New York. You have the bodega, the convenience store, you have a hot table with all the food, and we would do both things.
The first Juernes is going to start April 11th and is going to continue every second Thursday of each month until September. Reporting for Caplin News from Washington, D.C., Pamela Correa.
Magic Kingdom is getting a makeover as part of Disney's largest expansion yet. The theme park will include a 14-acre area, but it's unknown what the theme and designs will be or when it will open. Disney plans to invest $60 billion into its parks and cruises over the next decade. The company announcements comes as Universal prepares to open a new theme park next year.
A gathering of legal leaders in the areas of sports and entertainment happening in Coral Gables. Caplin News reporter Stan Bobrun was there to kick off the two-day event.
I am here at the 2024 Global Entertainment Sports Law Conference here at the University of Miami. Today, industry professionals came to talk to law students about the current landscape of the industry. John Ruzich presented the keynote speakers.
So I've been fortunate enough to be part of this event for probably about at least 5 or 6 years. Greg Levy's done a great job with his team out here to go ahead and bring out some of the best speakers in the business. And every year what I try to do as an alumni is host a panel with a variety of different councils.
What we try and do with this program is create a meeting space for the entertainment, the arts, and the sports industries to come together each year here at Miami, here at this campus, to discuss, talk, think through some of the most cutting-edge issues that are facing the industry today.
Featured guests such as Donald Zacharin, who represented Ed Sheeran during his famous copyright infringement lawsuit involving Thinking Out Loud, and Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On.
It started in 2015. I represented Sony Music for years.
Other guest speakers included Michael Mellis, the New York Yankees Senior Vice President and Chief Legal Officer.
One example I can give you at Yankee Stadium, which opened in 2009.
Jason Cohen, General Counsel for the Dallas Cowboys.
We had a vision for what we wanted to do, and over time, it's changed.
Marlene Nations, Senior Vice President, Legal Affairs of Hollywood Park.
So far today, I've attended a couple of the panels and sessions they've had. I found them all to be really interesting, really insightful. Again, last year I was able to come as I was an admitted student, rising into law school, coming in, and it was really one of the things that made me decide to come to the University of Miami.
A friend of mine, he goes to Elon Law. That's where I go. She told me about it, and so we just made the trip here. We're from North Carolina.
Day one of the event is wrapping up. There are more keynote speakers set to speak with students tomorrow. With that, I'm Stan Bobrin, Caplin News.
Sam, I don't know if you saw, but the Panthers had a rough couple of weeks.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Up there, and it seems to be blowing out.
Now Berger hits one high in the air toward left. Siani will turn and watch that one go into Big Mac land.
The Marlins play their first road game of the season after losing 7 games straight at home. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
The Cats tried to get back to their winning ways on the road north of the border. Entering the final 2 weeks of the season, the Florida Panthers faced off against the Ottawa Senators in need of a big win.
And win big they did. The 30-save shutout from Sergei Bobrovsky combined with a goal and 2 assists from Matthew Tkachuk resulted in a 6-0 blowout. The Panthers will ship up to Boston to face the Bruins with Atlantic divisions hanging in the balance.
The Marlins went fishing for the first win of the new season against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Fish seemed to be on ice once again. They squandered a late lead after a 5-run inning in the 7th from the Cardinals led them to an 8-5 win over the Marlins. As it stands, Miami is 0-8 to start the season, and after star pitcher Yuri Perez underwent a season-ending Tommy John surgery, things look bleak for the Fish.
The surging Miami Heat faced a grudge match against Philadelphia 76ers with a spot in the NBA playoffs on the line. The Heat stood at the 6th seed before the game, but fans had their heart ripped out by a brutal 109-105 loss, spearheaded by Tyrese Maxey, 37 points. The team falls to the 7th seed as they try to make their way into playoffs before the season ends. You're watching Newsbreak. We're coming right back.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
FIU wasn't really my first choice, but, you know, I grew up wanting to be a Hurricane, but that didn't work out, so I'm here now, I guess.
Hey, man. Your shoes untied.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Should have done that against Georgia Tech.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Natalie LaRoche-Pietri.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.